Are you looking for an undervalued landed property? Well, if you're thinking about how to spot the opportunities in the market and you're not sure where to go, I'm Sarah X Miracle, landed realtor, mother of 4, content creator, and I love helping you to find undervalued opportunities because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I've done analysis because I believe that now is the time, now is the season for you to take advantage of potential capital gains and for you to consider moving on to the next thing that will give you even more love, joy, and peace for your family. My perspective is to make sure that we make decisions that are family-centric. I believe in also having a mindset of enough emergency funds. So please make sure that you do your own financial calculations before you take any of my advice. Without further ado, if you like videos like this, I make them every single week to empower you. So please do give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. So what I'm going to talk about today is to show you district trends, first of all, to show you where the undervalued districts are right now in today's market based on the latest information and transaction volumes over the last 2 years. Secondly, we want to show you which districts have gained the most in the last 2 years so that you can consider unlocking your capital gain now, whether you want to right size or move on to a larger landed or a better district. And lastly, I'm going to share some action points depending on your profile, your need, and your stage of life so that you can walk away with some action points to take away for your land and home journey. So first, let's look at this graph that I have in front of me. And this graph shows you the district trend over the last 3 years from 2022 to 2025. Of course, 2025 is not yet over, and I have personally transacted record PSFs in District 13 and 19 that are not even recorded here that would probably increase the values of these numbers. So I want to take you with a pinch of salt because the year's not over and the numbers might go up again, but we only have about 6 weeks at the end of the year, so this is fairly accurate. Now, of course, the top line leader, the top PSF average is always going to be held in the core central, which is represented by District 10. Now you can see that, however, over the last 2 years, the acceleration of the landed property value has almost flattened to 5.64%. Now that is barely beating inflation if you think about it. And if you look at from last year to this year, the values have barely even moved. We're talking 2536 average to 2567 average PSF resale for landed last year to this year in District 10. Now then you look at the next line, now that's District 15, the yellow line, and in the last 2 years accelerated 7.59%, which is quite respectable. And I have another video where we compared that at a certain quarter in this year where I showed that District 15 PSF actually accelerated beyond District 10. And that was because District 15 transactions are at a much lower quantum. And District 10, we have quite a lot of large plots that are going for rebuilt pricing at the low 2000 PSFs. Whereas due to transaction stacking and lower quantums, District 15 has gone up to past 2005 to 2006 average PSF in your landed zones. We also have another very interesting district, which is District 20. Now that's your Thomson, Ang Mo Kio, Bishan area, up only 5.15% in the last 2 years. So it's underperformed even District 10, which was flat already. This is even less than that. And then we have 2 districts that are doing very well. District 19, which is traditionally, your Serangoon, Crowd, Kovan, going at 10.38% in the last 2 years. And then District 13, which is an underdog category, surpassing District 19 in terms of gains, going up to 13.75%. And it's not just, on a quantum level that District 13 is much cheaper. Actually, they're quite comparable in terms of the average because District 13, in fact, has slightly higher average minimum price of $4.8 million compared to District 19, which has a 4.5 minimum average price for the landed plots over there. So District 13 is turning out to be an underdog in this entire thing. So what can we say about this graph? Like, Sarah, so what does this mean? Now I'm going to share with you breakdown that number one, when you want to look for undervalued landed, we want to be buying into districts that had as much acceleration as potentially your top performing districts. Now this means that District 10, District 20, and even District 15, which has not gone up as much as District 13 and 19, might be considered undervalued in relation. Now why is that? It's because District 10, Prime Central District, District 20, also considered, even though it has less amenities and different lifestyle from Serangoon and District 15, also considered having a lot of future upside potential because there is the Thomson East Coast line. So they do have MRT access as well right now in the Bright Hill and the Upper Thomson MRTs. And it's just a matter of time that area is going to be rejuvenated because we know that Thomson View went on block. So there's going to be a lot more intensification of the housing area over there. And with more housing in terms of the condos, you're also going to get more amenities. So it's only a matter of time where Thomson Plaza ups, we're going to see even more lifestyle and amenities going towards that Thomson area. Otherwise, the Clover area, right, at the Bishan Park is very, very popular, but because there are not many transactions, not many people want to sell, the prices are not going up as fast as in District 15 or 19 or 13. So District 10, top pick if you have a minimum average of $10 million, right? So we're talking about semi-detached at least. If you have that kind of budget, let's go for District 10 because it's relatively undervalued. So if you are thinking, no, District 10, the quantum is too high, guys, District 10 is a ceiling for the rest of the districts. So if you can buy into District 10, that is going to be an opportunity right now. And if you watched my previous video about the differences between resale prices and new build from developer, landed houses, you will notice that the landed new builds are also going at a much lower difference and premium compared to your resale, making, to be honest with you, new build District 10, which is going at roughly a 25 to 30% premium of your resale landed in District 10, making that going to be technically the most undervalued landed properties you can find due to these two effects, which is the District 10, or rather the core central stagnation effect, and the resale upswing effect, where you have seen that the resale market has come very, very close right now to the new builds, right? Because on average, only a 20% difference across the whole of Singapore between resale and new builds. In District 10, it's closer to 30%, but that's still way lower than the previous almost 60% that it was in 2022. Now, I have that whole entire previous video to analyze that, so go and watch that. So I want you to take away that if you have a $10 million budget, well, 10 million might not get you a new build in District 10 now. Okay, let's be honest. You're looking at least 12 or 13 right now, and I have some on hand. So if you want to find out these opportunities, please let me know. But the point is that the creme de la creme properties, which are brand new District 10 builds, or 11, depending on where you are, 9, 10, 11, these are actually going to be, ironically, the most undervalued properties right now in Singapore. Now, of course, you say, no, I can't afford that. Okay, so then let's consider District 20. District 20, full of potential, transformation is on the way. District 20, our minimum average prices over there, let's see, are only $4.5 million. Maximum average prices, $5.3 million. So let's go for District 20 if you're looking at the lower end quantum of the $4.5 to $5.5 million amount. So you would get potentially an older terrace and you might do some work. I have a whole other video about is 4 million really enough to buy a landed, so please watch that video as well. But the whole point is that District 20 is going to be seriously the next up and coming district to watch for, because everything else has already accelerated. So these are the two districts I highly recommend. And so now I want to share with you what is the implication for you if you own properties in any of the districts right now. Okay, now I didn't put 9, 10, 11 because 10 is actually more representative of the entire 9, 10, 11. But my point is that if you own a core central property and you're sitting on it, you are considering whether or not you should be right sizing or maybe even upgrading to even a larger landed home within District 10, now is the time to unlock the capital gains, because our acceleration has already kind of tapered off, right? We're not accelerating in the same angle, right, which we did. We already have seen those gains over the last 5 years. We're talking about 30 to 40% capital gains already made through the COVID period. So now we're actually already at a stagnancy phase. So there isn't much point, unless you're intending to hold for another at least 10, 15 years, there isn't much point to be holding now, thinking that it might go up in the near term. In the near term, the lower quantum units in the other districts are likely going to be moving faster and accelerating higher. So now's the time to either unlock the capital gain so you can move to the larger landed within District 10. And that applies, right, to any category, whether you own a semi-D terrace, a detached, or unless you own a GCB. Like, hey, if you own a GCB, you're watching this, thank you for watching. I would love to help you sell your GCB. But the point is, in any category, there's always one up. And now is a good time for you to go to that one up, because you are already at this point. And what's more, District 10 on the larger quantums become more and more undervalued, because a lot of it has been depressed by rebuilt plots that are selling at the low 2,000 square foot. So next, if you own District 15, now District 15 is really interesting because there's a lot of activity going on. And if you want to buy into District 15, I will consider this the average district, because it's not accelerated as fast as 19 and 13, but the amenities and lifestyle is amazing. And we have the same Thompson East Coast line that's going from Thompson down to East Coast. We do have a lot of connectivity right now, especially if you are able to get secure a unit on the lower part below East Coast Road. That section is going to be a lot more prime and a lot more able to access. Of course, if you're also within 1 km to a good school, example, Town Nan, you would likely be able to command a premium as well. If you own a District 15 landed house, you will also be able to command a premium. And lastly, if your house is recently TOP'd, meaning that you already can sell through SSD, TOP'd in the last maybe 3 to 5 years, your house is fairly brand new, your renovation is really good, you would be able to command a premium too, because if you charge almost the same as a new build, but people get to stay in the house, right, and they don't have to wait, they are buying time for an almost new build. And that will allow you, right, your capital gain allow you to upgrade to that bigger home or a better district, depending on what is your goal. And of course, if you own District 13 or 19, you would have made so much money already just in the last 2 years. So now's the time to consider moving into either a more prime district such as District 10 if you have the quantum. If not, unlocking those capital gains and looking to a larger home might also be a good idea before the acceleration continues to push up, because now there is a lot of demand for District 19. The blue graph you see is the volume going on in District 19. And in District 13, even the volumes are not that high because District 13 is a relatively smaller district in terms of number of landed houses available. You can see that the centrality of District 13 is actually causing an interesting underdog phenomenon right now, where it's accelerating even faster than District 19 and becoming the winner in terms of percentage acceleration in the last 2 years. So I want to wrap this video by sharing with you just some key pointers to take away. So going back to the fact that you may be looking for an undervalued plot and you're saying, but Sarah, I don't own any of these things. You're talking to the owners. Well, the truth is that many landed buyers are already owners, as I am finding out right now. And so that's why I want to talk to you as well about what you own, so that you know that what you buy is going to be of a much better value when you move forward ahead. But if you are looking to upgrade from a condo directly into a landed, I would say that landed will continue to go up in that fashion that condos may not be able to when you put it into a longer term perspective. So make sure that you are in this for the long term. You may not be able to see immediate gains because, it could be that you're buying the District 10 and it continues to stagnate for another few more years. But the truth is that at some point, the property index will go up again, right? There will be another market shift, and District 10, District 15, these will still be the top 2 leaders leading the way. So if you always wanted to move into these districts, I highly recommend that you bite the bullet and do it now before land continues to be scarce and there's no more land in Singapore. I do videos like these every single week, and that's really to empower you in your decision making, especially when it comes to landed purchases, new launches, and opening your mind to new launches as a strategy. Of course, the resale market is our bread and butter, and we all do that. But I want to share education and tips that most people don't even cover. If you like my perspective and you appreciate my insights, I hope you give us a like, subscribe, and also hit the notification button. So every time a new video comes out, you will be notified and you'll get the new video right to your inbox. Thank you so much. I'm going to be looking next at some top transactions in the districts across different landed categories for my next video. So we're going to look at the detached, we're going to look at the semis, we're going to look at terraces, depending on what is the category you're interested to buy in. So we know what's really going on in the market right now up to this October period, because we are almost at the end of the year. So if you would like, please stay tuned for next week's video. I'll see you soon. I'm Sarah X Miracle.